Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is a man under siege. And William Ruto is facing serious political dilemma in Kenya Kwanza. Yesterday, William Ruto was in Meru County, and I paid very close attention to the speeches, especially from the local leaders. Their message to Ruto was very clear, very simple, and straight to the point. That work with Raila Odinga and we withdraw our support for your government. Why do you think these leaders from the mountain are threatening William Ruto with withdrawing their support should he decide to work with Raila Odinga? In this video, I want us to look at the main reasons why these leaders are holding William Ruto hostage. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button right now so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And of course, you can also support the channel through the numbers you are seeing on your screen. Now, William Ruto is facing three main dilemmas as we speak. The first dilemma William Ruto is facing is that he is under a lot of pressure from the US government and the British government to work very closely with Raila Odinga. William Ruto understands one thing, that is the president of the Republic of Kenya right now because of the two superpowers. But the two superpowers are disappointed with William Samoei Ruto, especially the moment he started making appointments to his government. And they realized that for William Ruto to succeed, he needed to work very closely with Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga needed to offer a very strong opposition to William Ruto's government. So currently, they are pushing for William Ruto and Raila Odinga to work together through some reforms which will end up creating the office of the official opposition. And if William Ruto will not agree to their demands, these guys are definitely going to throw William Ruto under the bus. And that's how I want you to read the move to open the servers. So that's the first dilemma William Ruto is facing, the pressure from the international community, which means he will have to disregard the statements by those leaders from the mountain. The second dilemma he's facing is that Mount Kenya is actually crucial for his ambitions. If you remove Mount Kenya from William Ruto's politics, then William Ruto is a shell. He understands that. But William Ruto also understands that as far as 2027 politics is concerned, there are a lot of things which might change. One of them is the support from the mountain. So William Ruto has been trying so hard to appeal to the other regions, coast, western, and he's not succeeding. So William Ruto is now trying so hard to venture into Nyanza politics because he believes that if he were to venture into Nyanza and win their support, then that support will automatically influence the support he's going to get in Western and the support he's going to get in the coastal region, just in case something is not going to work according to his plan. So William Ruto is in that dilemma. The third dilemma William Ruto finds himself in my view, is the legitimacy issues. You know, the truth of the matter is that we had an election. William Ruto got 7.1 million votes. Raila Odinga got 6.9 million votes, a difference of 200,000 votes. If you distribute the way the counties voted, almost more than 3/4 of the country turns yellow. The remainder turns, more than 3/4 of the country turns blue. Only a few turns yellow, probably because of the privilege of numbers. And there's almost more than half of votes which were never cast. So William Ruto does not have that legitimacy and is trying to fix that. So because of those four dilemmas, William Ruto has to do certain things, including working with, I don't want to call it handshake, but one of the things he's going to do is to work with Raila Odinga. But Mount Kenya leaders are holding him hostage and are threatening him. that if he decides to go that route, they are going to abandon him. Why do you think the Mount Kenya leaders are threatening William Samoei Arap Ruto? Number one, the handshake which they don't want, if it were to happen today, it will render them irrelevant in government. That is the fact. Because even right now, Mount Kenya are crying that they are being shortchanged in government, that majority of positions are going to the Kalenjin nation. If Ruto were to enter into handshake with Raila Odinga, it means places, people from Nyanza, people from Western Kenya and Coastal will be incorporated in the government. You can borrow the example of the handshake. When Raila Odinga entered into the handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, the first casualties were those who were previously in that government. Because now they were going to be irrelevant. These leaders, if Raila and Uhuru were to have, Raila and Ruto were to have a handshake, they are going to be irrelevant. They'll not be needed. They are needed now because of maybe votes in parliament. Raila Odinga will come with the numbers. They'll make noise, but they will not be able to take people to the street. And they don't want to be rendered irrelevant in government. And that's why they keep on talking of, we voted for you without us, things like those. Number two, why they are threatening Ruto is that they understand the power of Raila phobia in the mountain as a political strategy to mobilize their people. The other day, I had the senator for Nyandarua suggesting that they should have, you see, like this my copy in yangu ya coffee, that they should have image of Raila Odinga in some of those alcohol bottle, so that when you want to drink it like this, then those people will be able to see the image of Raila Odinga. And then because Raila Odinga is bad, they'll stop drinking. It has gone to that level. So that Raila phobia, if, Uhuru and Raila had the handshake, the figures increased from whatever number Raila Odinga used to get in the mountain to 1.4 million. Raila got 1.4 million votes from the mountain. That's a fact. In fact, in some constituencies, Raila got over 10,000 votes. And those are facts. If Ruto were to have a handshake, again, other people that number will increase. And they will not be able to have or to create that Raila phobia. And they will not be able to mobilize. So for them to survive politically, they must use Raila phobia. And the only way to use Raila phobia is by rallying their supporters against Raila. And the best person they can use is William Samoei Arap Ruto. Number three is the ownership as far as Rigathi Gachagua is concerned. The mountain believes very strongly that they are the owners of this government. That without the mountain, Ruto would not have made it to the presidency, which is a fact. William Ruto understands that if the mountain had not voted for him, there was no way he was going to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. So what about the ownership? If you bring Raila Odinga and Ruto together, what's going to happen is that there's a chance that their relationship is going to blossom, which means a few of Raila Odinga's people will be pushed to government. What that would mean is that you'll find someone who was opposing Ruto from the mountain but supports Raila Odinga getting into government. So they'll not claim the ownership. And then because Raila has almost half of the country, then they have almost half the country. If Raila Odinga and Ruto were to work together, how will they claim ownership? They won't. Because even in parliament, Raila Odinga will bring the numbers. There's nothing they can do to Ruto. Currently, they are holding on to that Ruto Kicheza in parliament will let Raila Odinga have his way. So that ownership, they want to feel like they own the government. Because the moment that's going to change, Raila coming in, they will no longer claim that ownership. Number four is the handshake effect. Uhuru and Raila had the handshake. That handshake rendered several individuals who were previously in Jubilee irrelevant. From the deputy president was rendered irrelevant. They don't want the same to repeat itself. They don't want the same to repeat itself. Because if it were to repeat itself, then they're going to be irrelevant. They are not going to have a say. They're not going to have a voice. You know, even development, they'll not be able to bargain the way they would bargain. Like right now, Ruto can go to the mountain and these guys can blackmail him that we need this project. If you don't do it. And lastly, I also tend to think that it's all about the 2027 politics. Someone told me in confidence that the mountain is restive. Why? Because William Ruto is trying to look for votes from elsewhere. That William Ruto is not so sure of the support from the mountain in the next election because he feels that he made a lot of promises. Some of them are not going to be met, and therefore he's likely to lose substantial amount of votes from the mountain. Or even if not so, then the mountain might not turn out the way he had wanted. And of course, he's also not sure about Raila Odinga presidency, because if Raila Odinga were to run, then the mountain would rally their supporters against Raila Odinga. What if Raila Odinga would front someone else in Azimio? Let's say Kalonzo Musyoka to contest for the presidency. Will that be enough reason now for the mountain to rally against Kalonzo? No. So the mountain is restive. They understand that. And they know Ruto is trying now to reach other regions. Those regions, if they were to go Ruto's way, then it means the mountain might not even get the privilege of having a running mate. And that is one of the biggest fears they are facing right now. I don't know what you think. Let me hear your thoughts. But for me, if you ask me, William Ruto is finding himself in a very tight corner right now. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.